nice thing about this time of year, fix that contrast a little bit. This time of year is the you get to go over what you learned last year, and that is a really nice thing to do. So we're going to try to get my background to match my. There we go. I think that should do it. I'm always clearing my throat or coughing for you guys. I'm sorry. Problem about lung disease. So I'm going to go over my favorite reels this last year and some of my least favorite reels. So when you guys go ahead and make your purchases, hopefully you'll do a better job at it than what I've done. So first, I just want to go into probably the easiest reel. And in my new book, which is listed down below, please check it out, I talk about this brand a little bit, but I don't really go into, look at that, I got it. What is it with autofocus cameras? You know, what is it with that? So we're just going to move this focus way. We're going to manually focus this thing. That's what we're doing. So we're going to manually focus it and just turn autofocus off. You know, Logitech makes a really nice camera, but autofocus. All right. But there really is one great value on the market for me. You guys, I mean, there are so many reels to choose from. Daiwa, Shimano, all these Japanese companies that are out there. Really, it's so hard to navigate when they all look the same. A lot of them feel the same to most people. So we're going to go into a Piscifun. Now, Piscifun is a Chinese manufacturer, but they do make a really good reel. Now, this is their Carbon X. This is their 2000, and I love 2000 sizes. And in my book, I talk about bearings. All right, so to be honest, you only need 4 bearings, but all the other bearings are there to make it feel better for you. But really, it's only 4 plus 1 that actually is very important to the operation of the reel itself. So really don't need a whole lot. And another nice thing about these, let's see, we're going to put you guys facing my table here. Another nice thing about this particular one, it's very, very, very lightweight. This is called their Carbon X. And it is probably one of the nicest reels I've ever used. Now, I tried another Japanese or Chinese company, Cast King, but the problem with Cast King is that this thing would lose its retaining screw right on this side, and it would fall off in the water. I wouldn't even notice it until it pops out. This is actually a really good retaining nut on this side that allows you to not worry about your reel coming apart when you're out on the water. So I would, when it comes to this particular reel, let me pull up some of its specs. The let's see, spinning reels. So the Carbon X, they have a Carbon X2 right now, ultralight spinning reel. So but this one's $55 on sale right now. And this really is the best reel I've ever used. It's still very, very smooth, and it's got a really, really light touch to it. I'm able to do anything I want with this thing, and this thing is like, I hate websites. I really do. Websites are just drives you nuts. So it's a 5 to 1, it's a 6 to 1, right? I need to look at this thing. Oh, yeah, it's a 6.2 to 1. You can get this in a 6.2 to 1, which is the fastest retrieve speed for a spinning reel out there. And the nice thing about it, it's got up to 33 pounds of drag force on it. I think this one, the 2000, I think it's a 3000, 33 pounds. This one has got just over 20 pounds of drag, I think. Let me look online here, and it's really hard for me to see down there. 22 pounds of drag. So as you, the 4000's got 33 pounds of drag. So this is really a fantastic reel. I love the way, in order to lighten this spool, they did a really nice cutout on this in order to lighten that spool. It's got, it really is a nice drag knob on the front of it. Again, very, very light. Yeah, there it is. It says 6.2 to 1 right there. So I don't know why I can't see it. It does have 10+1 bearings. Again, a lot of the bearings are there for the better feel. The bail has a really nice, lock and feel to it. Really, for 59 bucks for spinning rods, for spinning gears, this is actually one of the better reels I've ever purchased. Like I said, with casting, their retaining nut actually falls off, and then you lose it in the water, and you just may lose your. It's just so frustrating. So, and then I have a lose in the back. I never understood how you can mess up a spinning reel so much, but the loose spinning reel is a terrible spinning reel, and it catches underneath the spool a lot. So the line, the reel spooler right here actually does not line up perfectly all the time to the spool itself. So it is a really, really, really good. 59 bucks. 6.2 to 1. It's the fastest on the market, and it's got carbon fiber, a braking system in it, and it is very, very light. Give it a shot. So, and they got a really good deal right now. And Pissy Fun, I think I have a link down below. If I don't, I'll put one there. So next, we're going to go into bait casters. I know, bait casters. So now bait casters are more important. They really are. These are just more important to get right than a spinning reel. Spinning reels are fundamentally the same. But I've had bad ones, with retaining nuts and with spool guides on it that just messed up. Just buy it good, and you'll be happy. Now, this is a big, big deal. I do most of my fishing with bait casting, and you can get really good ones, you can get really bad ones, and the difference is that they just will drive you crazy. So let's first go into a not so good one. So here is a Cast King. Cast King, the reason I bring up Cast King is I used to represent them, and they are the #1 retailer for fishing gear on Amazon. So they got a lot of things. They sell a lot. So this is their Crixus. This is one of their best. Their Crixus Armor X is not a cheap reel. It's a $100 reel, and it is technically sound. This is technically sound, but there is some issues with it. So I've redone this. I've taken it apart. I've re-lubed it. I've re-greased it. I've done everything to it in order to make it more reliable. But in this one's case, is, if you noticed, on the reel spool, it's uneven. And that's the problem with this one. It's gear, the worm gear right here, and here's your line threader right here. It's going to move back and forth in order to put the line back on the reel. It's off. So what ends up happening on a fresh spool, this is a great reel, but you're only going to get maybe a day's worth out of it, probably less, maybe half a day. I mean, I fish a lot. 5 hours later, this thing's going to mess up, because what ends up happening is that it puts the line on the spool unevenly, and then the line catches on itself, and so when you're throwing it, it may just stop in midair and backlash on you. So in this one's case, the guide is not proper. Technically, it's a well-built machine. It's got a good braking system. It's got an aluminum housing. It's very light. It feels good in your hand, and it'll work for a little while. But this one will not keep your line on your spool evenly. It just will not. And it will cause you backlashes, and you may even lose some baits. You'll definitely stop it in midair, depending on the line on it. This is not a well-designed guide. It's terrible, in fact. Now, their most popular reels, probably for BFS anyway, is their Zephyr. I used that one for over a year. Again, a good reel, but there's a gap between the spool and the housing. When you're using 4-pound test, which is really, really light, and that's what it was designed to do, it would catch in between this gap right here. And then as soon as it catches, boom. And it's a shallow spool, so you just lost all your line, and it snapped, you lost your bait, and you're shelving it for the rest of the day, unless you're relining it. Cast King is the most popular because of its affordability. This is an expensive one. It's $90 to $100, but for them anyway, it is not worth it. It just isn't worth it. In this one's case, it's visibly obvious, but it just will not respool the line properly. The Zephyr will catch the line in between this gap between the spool and the housing. So what I would tell you when it comes to Cast King, I would probably just stay away from Cast King. They make some other stuff. I mean, their rods are pretty good, but again, we're gonna, in another video, we're gonna go into the difference between Chinese rods and American-made rods, and there's a big difference between the two, besides cost. So that's what I find annoying about them. Now, go into a Japanese-made reel, and I'm sure there's some really good Chinese-made stuff too. So this is a Shimano SLX XT. Now, one thing I do find annoying about Cast King is that they're knocking off the Shimano braking system. I don't like that. I don't like it that they're infringing upon copyrights and stuff. So, but that's between them and Shimano. But I don't like it. So, the SLX XT is probably your best all-around bait caster for just fishing. You just want to. All right, we're going to go over the what's good, what to look for. And that's the Shimano SLX XT. So, second time I've done it because, I notice that I keep hitting mute somehow. Oh, it's the M button. I gotta change that shortcut. Because if I go online and I hit M, I mute. Alright, I'm gonna have to fix that. So, we're gonna go about the good and bad about Shimano SLX. The good is everybody can use this. There's really this braking system is one of the best on the market. It's a dual braking system, centrifugal. I only have 2 pins pulled all the time. And then you can adjust the braking system's magnets right here, which adjusts right inside here. And the magnet is right there. So full round magnet, and it just goes ahead and does a great job. So, but once you set it, and you really don't mess with it. Oh, this is great too. Being able, it stays on your reel, the cap. I've lost caps. You do lose caps. They're expensive. You just buy another reel, basically. The bad part about it is the adjustment knob is recessed, and it's very hard to turn. Really hard to turn. It's very, very stiff. But again, once I set it, I'm good. Now, I do have this on my medium light, and the medium light has a, or not my medium light, but my medium fast. My medium fast has 1/8 up to, ½ ounce. So I might be throwing like a, 1/4 ounce, 3/8 ounce. But if I want to go more finesse, excuse me, I will put a 1/8, and then I have to adjust my brakes. No biggie. But again, if you're a one rod person, you might find this a little annoying. What you'll love about this is that this will do its job for you in just about every conceivable situation, except for bait finesse. I use a 6.3 to 1 gear ratio on my SLX XD, but I do believe, they have it even more, I think, in it. Yeah, this is the XG, I think, or so let me look. So you can get the XG, which I think is what this is, for $116. So it's $116, and that is a really, really good deal. So XG is 7.2, and the normal is 6.3. So you can get in 2 different gear ratios, 6.3 or 7.2, but still $120. And easy to maintain. Really is a very easy to maintain reel. The drag's got a slight click to it, although the tension knob does not. Now normally when I go ahead and adjust my tension, I do not mess with anything. Once the tension is set, I'm good. The only thing I'm working is the drag. That's all I'm working. So anybody who thinks you need to have a clicker in this, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. I mean, this thing is just, there's no reason to have a clicker here. I don't think so. Because what are you going to do? Once you set your tension, it's pretty much set for the day. This reel is a couple years old, and it is still as good as it has ever been. It is, but I do keep it lubed and greased, and I have a video I think on that. If not, I'll put one out on how to maintain reels, because I got to do a lot of maintenance on these reels. So it's end of season, and once a year you're just going to pull them all apart, and we're going to start cleaning bearings, and we're going to start putting lubrications in here and just cleaning it up. That worm gear does get rather gross. The worm gear does, right down there. So it can pick up a lot of, although it looks really good right now. So, see, another nice thing too about this is, let me see if the Casking's got it. It does, but it's hiding. So, see this screw right here? This will adjust your worm gear. This one's biggest issue is that the worm gear does not line up the line to this. So they do have a screw, but it's behind this. It's impossible to get to. Really, I think it's a screw. It's impossible to get to. So you might be able to tune that. I'll try to do that because I'm going to have one. But that's terrible. I mean, this one's, everything's up front for you. Really, really nice. You know, a lot of times you might get a lot of stuff right in here, you know, right in the guide. I just take a pipe cleaner, pop it out, and just keep it clean. Keep everything clean on this thing, and it will last you forever. So, but this one right here, I would tell you to get, if you just want a good all-around, bait caster. Definitely spend and it's not a lot of money actually. I mean, in relation to the price of these things, because my next bait caster will be a Shimano. It'll be the Aldebaran, and it's $300. So it's more than double the price of this. Now, the reason I'm going with an Aldebaran is because it can throw really, really, really lightweight baits, and I'll be getting a new rod, an ultralight, and it's just one of those things. I love light fishing. So, and again, you can hear, you know, that thumb bar right there. Nice, positive. There's no play in it. There's no play in the spool, none whatsoever. I mean, this is a really quality piece of equipment. So I would tell you, when it comes to purchasing, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You just don't. If you want to go BFS, or I mean bait casting, do not try to save yourself $30. Do it right, do it once, and save yourself a lot of headaches on the water. Go with a Shimano. And you know, preferably the SLX XT is my choice. The SLX without the XT is a few bucks cheaper, about the same price as this one, but it doesn't have the dual braking system. And I think for just most of us, a dual braking system is truly advantageous. So I would tell you to get that. As for your spinning reels, Piscifun's Carbon X is a fantastic. This is a couple years old too. I have to clean it up after this season, but it's still spinning smoothly. There's really no grinding in there. It feels really, 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 really good. So definitely, when it comes to buying at least these, I like these. I really do. I really like these. Get me this back up here. Oh, look, there's me. It's on my hands. So, hopefully this helps you out. I mean, this time of year, Piscifun, Shimano, everybody's got sales going on right now. And if you're going to treat yourself to a really good reel, you know, if you just want a spinning reel, Piscifun is very affordable. And I think Shimanos are very affordable because they are, well, they're not this. This will drive you crazy. You'll lose baits, you'll get backlashes, you'll spend more time missing out on a cast dealing with that headache. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to go into rods next, and then we'll do another video on maintenance of these things. So we'll see you guys, well, hopefully pretty soon. We'll see you again. Shut up and